So now then, I just wanted to get this one over with. Yeah, because I think it's important to be able to, you know, pull something out of the box that, you know, that someone didn't think of, you know, or to set the bar a little higher than what you would expect you would be able to jump over, you know. So that's what this is about, you know. That's what it is, you know. This is where I set my standard, you know. It's not good enough to just for me, you know, to just finish normal standard. I mean, to pursue a standard like career path or a standard education, and what I learned, you know, and I mean, what I know about myself now is, you know, it's not that I'm putting myself down. I'm just being very, very realistic. You know, like I don't have the cognitive capacity to succeed in what I would want to succeed if I wasn't, you know, setting the bar so high, you know, just for the sake of it. So I think this is a good way to, you know, this is a good, I say, you know, excuse, or, but I would just say method, you know. This is my method, you know. And yeah, I guess I'm a little bit sort of, how would we say, acting, you know. I was gonna say taking the P, but it's not really taking the P, and it's not really just acting. Yeah, it's acting, but it's for a certain, you know, it's for a certain reason. It's for, you know, it's for personal growth, you know. That I like to produce some piece of artwork, you know, that you know, where I give myself a certain task and see, okay, can I, this task, it seems a little high, but based on what I can deduce, based on what pieces of the puzzle I can put together, that are pieces of the puzzle that are available, of what might be actually going on out there, you know, that is a reasonable thing to you know, deduce that would be going on, you know. Then I think this is a perfectly reasonable level to set the bar, you know. I think it's a perfectly reasonable level to set the bar, you know. It's just that we aim, you know, we aim very, very low. The bar is just set, you know, at the most, you know, the level of the lowest student nowadays, you know. And like, I accepted when I was in school, I accepted that that's how it was, and you know, that made sense to me. I knew that I was I had a cognitive deficiency, you know. I got a few things on the spectrum, you know, mild dyslexia, and I'm pretty sure mild autism, and a weak cognitive function, you know, and certain, I would say, left brain cognitive function. Okay, I'm quite weak on that one. So my brain hemispheres are not synchronized in that aspect very well. So when my brain is processing, you know, grammar and math and logical left brain things, my hemispheres go a little bit, you know, like it's not really working at the same level. You know, my reading speed is less. Last time this was measured when they diagnosed me with dyslexia and with and I think also mild autism. You know, they made it perfectly clear that my reading is at least 5 times below the average reading speed. My ability to to count, even to count, it took me a long time. It took me like pretty much 14 and a half before I could count to like 100, probably. So it was in that area, when my awareness is on those logical left brain things, somehow there's like a thing that happens in my brain, and I accept that. I accept that. What would be the point of putting me in a class full of other kids that are whose brain hemispheres are more or less perfectly synchronized when they're processing that level of information? It makes far more sense to group the kids together so that you can produce a suitable level of progressively, a way to actually progress them all through at the fastest possible rate. So I fully learned to accept that. And so that's why I don't really bother with formal education anymore, because what I would be able to achieve, would not be a very high standard, and I would really have to throw a lot of time and energy and money into that. Like the last course, I really tried my best to pass that. It was a Chinese medicine degree, and like 2.5 years through that, it was acupuncture, herbal medicine, Tui Na, and everything, the whole package. And I really focused on that. And after almost by the time the course was only a few months away from finishing, I had like 15 resits that they wanted to charge me $100 each to resit 10 units. Units that I would have had to resit would have cost me like $1,500, which I didn't have at the time. It's like, yeah, I could have borrowed it from my parents and then, or loaned a $15,000 on top of my, student loan, somehow, which I don't think I would have been able to do. It would have been very, very difficult, like they really, if you're like some, damn, I don't want to put down sexual orientation, but that's not the point. But yeah, like if you're an LGBTQ, then you're gonna get a lot of support, and and like way more support than what was available for a person that was dyslexic on the spectrum. Social anxiety. It's like, what the heck? But that's fine. I'm not certainly not putting down any LGBTQ. Okay, please understand. So. Yeah, so based on what I can deduce, all this stuff is possible, and it's likely there is another level. There are more tiers in society than what we realize, and it's just like if you go down to the lowest tier, like go to a poor village in China, and go to the absolute lowest tier. You'd be surprised what they have never even seen, what they have never even heard of, what they have, the history that they have never even, been aware of. And that's because of different tiers of society, and it goes up, and there's one higher than where we are, and everyone wants to just think that, they are the richest person, they have the best yacht, the best jet, the best, the best, all that stuff that we think that we need to go and get, and they think that they're the best, and they don't realize there's another tier right on top of them. They can fly a jet and a helicopter and whatever. There's a tier on top where there's people richer than them, more advanced than them, with with spaceships that can fly right out of the atmosphere to the moon anywhere on, anywhere on in our solar system at least. Certainly, I think they can get beyond that, but at least they can go anywhere in the solar system. And they don't. People are like, but that's the reality of it. If you really have the guts to not look away from this and actually look into it, you'll be able to deduce the same thing that Commander Lars, right here has deduced. And so yeah, it's fun. I like making little pieces of art here to just set the bar high and see if I can make it over there, because this is how it is. So why isn't it possible? How could it not be?